So you're planning a trip to Bali. We just spent a month there and had the most amazing trip, but there's a few things that we wish we knew before we went. So we've written 17 different things that you must know before you travel to Bali. We're going to talk about little local tips that not many tourists know, all the way to our perfect travel itinerary if we were going to do it again.
So stick around because this is a video that is going to be so helpful for you, and make sure you like it. If you do like it, it lets the YouTube algorithm know that you want to see more videos like this, and hit that subscribe button because we have so many good videos coming your way this year.
So first things first, you got to get into the country, and for that you need a visa. We would recommend that you plan this ahead and organise your visa online before you come. There's also an opportunity to pay the tourist tax before you come to Bali, and we would really suggest that you do this because we got there and we had to wait in line for about 2 hours to get out on the other end of the airport. We'll put the website here so you can go and organise that before your trip. Number 2 is how to get around. So once you get into Bali, then we suggest you hire a scooter. If you don't know how to drive a scooter, then you can learn, but I would suggest not learning in places like Canggu or Uluwatu, busy areas. There are even driving schools that you can go and learn to ride a scooter, but the traffic can be super hectic in some of these places. One key tip that a lot of the locals know but not many tourists know is that if you are getting around places like Canggu or Uluwatu, use Maps.me or Waze to get around. You're going to find the best routes, but also if you're using Google Maps, switch it to walking mode because a lot of the walking tracks actually double as scooter tracks. I don't know if it's legal or illegal, but that's what all the locals use, so you'll find some really cute, quick paths.
Other than hiring a scooter, if you're traveling to the islands, you're going to need some sort of boat to cross the water. So the fast ferries are your best option. We like to book through websites like 12 to go and book away. Again, if it's peak season, which is around July to August, and then also over through the summertime, like Christmas holidays and New Year's, book ahead of time because they can get really, really busy. If you're heading to places like Nusa Lembongan or Nusa Penida and it's in a non-peak time, you should be okay to just show up and buy your ticket on the spot.
In order to stay safe on the ferries, because they can be quite dangerous if they're rough waters, is sit at the back of the boat and you will get less of the bumps. It's also close to the exit. This is where all the locals will sit. And then if it's too bumpy or if the ocean is too rough, just don't travel on them and instead try and find a slow ferry which can carry cars and everything to get to your destination.
And then there is also an option to use apps like Gojek or Grab, and we highly recommend doing this if you don't want to drive a scooter yourself. It is so easy to just quickly order a Gojek and you jump on the back of someone else's motorcycle and they zip you around really, really fast. So that is a great option. And also you can use this app for taxis as well. Although keep in mind, in places like Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan and those smaller islands like Gili T, there is no Gojek or Grab available. So you have to use the local taxis, which can be a little bit more expensive.
Number 3, how to avoid Bali belly. We get this question a lot on our TikTok and Instagram, and it's so fair. People are very worried about getting sick and they've heard about this Bali belly. First of all, Bali belly is just food poisoning, getting gastro. So in order to avoid this, you need to stay hydrated, you need to wash your hands, you need to not drink the tap water. Of course, it's fine to bathe in the water, but do not drink it. Drink bottled water. Then you can avoid foods like sambal, which is like this spicy sauce that they put on top of their foods, and this can sit out for a while. So foods that sit out for a while, avoid those. And then a pro tip is if you're very worried, just check Google reviews and make sure they have a lot of Google reviews before you go to a restaurant.
Tip number 4 is you will find that there are little hidden fees kind of everywhere. So some beaches you need an entrance fee, maybe some temples, and if you're wanting to use like an Instagrammable swing or something like that, you'll maybe have to pay a small fee. So our advice would be, if you're wanting to get involved in these sort of things, just carry some cash everywhere.
Number 5 is to time your trip. Now, I think we might have lucked out for this one, but we actually timed our trip to come in between Ramadan and Nyepi. And what you'll find is the traffic in places like Canggu and Uluwatu are very high because people come from other places in Indonesia to work in these places because there's a lot of money there. So during these holidays, a lot of these people, these locals or Indonesians will go back to their hometowns, and actually Uluwatu and Canggu become much quieter. Not to mention the experience. We're in Ubud for Nyepi and we got to watch this amazing Ogo Ogo parade before they have Nyepi, which is a silent day for 24 hours. It was a really special experience and we would really recommend you go there at that time if you can.
Just adding on that, if you want to avoid the rainy season, then maybe head to Bali from about March onwards through to November or October. That is actually the best time where you will find the most pleasant weather for your trip.
Number 6 is you need to respect the culture. So you'll see a lot of these little flower baskets with different offerings in them and incense all around the place, all around Bali on the ground. Please be careful and don't step on these. This is pretty disrespectful if you do step on them. Additionally, if you go and visit temples, make sure you cover up. Most temples, they'll actually give the men and women a sarong to wrap their legs if you're not wearing long pants. And then also make sure you cover your shoulders and your shirt to show respect. Other ways you can do this is by staying quiet and not touching statues when you do enter temples.
Tip number 7 is that Indonesian food is life. We had some of the most amazing meals when we were in Bali, and honestly, we didn't expect it, and it was phenomenal. The one thing that you have to try is a traditional warung, and that is a traditional food shop that most locals run. And the dishes that you have to try is a nasi campur. Now you can find this in a non-buffet style and also a buffet style. We highly recommend the buffet style because you get to choose from the most amazing curry dishes, and there's just so many different options, and you can choose and pile your plate on with all of these delicious different meals, and it is just so great. I didn't even know what it was before I came to Bali, and I am now obsessed. Other meals that you have to try is the mee goreng, nasi goreng, and then of course the rendang, the beef rendang. If you can find a good one, oof, you're gonna love it.
Number 8 is food costs and restaurant costs. I don't want you to be surprised like we were when you get to a restaurant and at the end they actually add an extra 25% to the bill, because what a lot of these restaurants and cafes do is they add a 15% tax and then they add another 10% service charge. So don't be surprised when that happens, and you can avoid this by just going to local warungs and ordering the most amazing Indonesian food, eating local, and then you can skip these taxes.
Tip number 9 is that the beaches vary quite widely in Bali, and when you're heading to places like Canggu or Seminyak, what you will find is not your pristine white sand beaches. Because of actually the volcano ash around the area, the sand can often be black. Which is, it was quite surprising for me when I first saw it. And you'll also find quite a bit of rubbish in places like this as well, which is quite unfortunate. So if you're looking for the pristine white sand, head to places like Gili T, Nusa Lembongan or Nusa Penida.
Number 10, watch out for cheeky monkeys. Okay, they are so cute, they are so fun,
vicious.
But they are vicious and they can steal your stuff. And we found out firsthand, even though we were prepared and we knew and we'd been told and we'd done it before. We went into a temple and we lost a bit of concentration, and next thing you know, sunnies were gone, phone was gone, and the monkey was off. So one thing to note is carry everything. Hold on tight if you're around monkeys in places like the monkey forest or temples with lots of monkeys in there, and you'll be fine. Don't carry food on you because they're going to come grab it, and be careful of your sunglasses. They will just come and grab it off your head and take it away, especially in these places where they are known to get bribed to give the stuff back. People in the temples, when the monkeys take it, they have special people to come and bribe the monkeys to get your stuff back. So now the monkeys know, they're trained.
Yeah.
They're trained to steal your stuff. When ours got stolen, we just hailed one of those guys down, and he got the phone and everything back, which was really lucky, and I think we gave him a little tip. I guess it supports the temple and everything anyway. Another thing with the monkeys is just don't look them directly in the eye. It intimidates them, and that's when they're going to bite you and they're going to get aggressive. Just walk and be, confident, and you'll be absolutely fine. They won't even come near you. The other thing is there are lots of stray dogs around, but these seem quite docile. We never had any real problems. But yeah, just be careful.
Tip number 11 is your perfect itinerary. Now, obviously, this is going to vary from person to person, but for me personally, I would avoid places like Canggu because they were just so busy. Yes, the food was amazing, but you can find amazing food everywhere. I would definitely include Ubud in your itinerary. Uluwatu was fantastic. The cliffs are beautiful. Whilst it is also a little bit busier, it does have an amazing fitness culture, amazing shops, and amazing food, and it's just stunning. And then, of course, I would recommend heading over to Nusa Lembongan. It was my absolute favourite island. Beautiful white sand, crystal blue waters, and just a really chilled, laid-back vibe. You can also check out places like Gili T. There's no cars on the island, no scooters on the island, which is really cool and an amazing place to go diving. And then also Lombok and Ahmed are beautiful places without the touristy vibe.
So if you've made it this far and you are enjoying this video, please hit that like button and make sure you subscribe because we're sending out so many videos like this and it really helps us grow this channel and keep sending more videos out. But hitting up next, one major tip when you're in Bali is go to all the attractions at sunrise. Be the first one there and you will have the best experience. Every single place we went to, the beautiful cliffs in Nusa Penida, the amazing ridge walks in Ubud, all of these were absolutely empty when we went in the morning.
Tip number 13 is that it is actually really possible to have a really enjoyable and affordable trip. So you can budget like a boss. If you want to, you can eat at local warungs and spend about $3 to $5 a meal, which is amazing. You can hire a scooter, which is going to cost you maybe $7 to $10 a day. Otherwise, if you do jump on the back of Gojeks, I remember paying something like 70 cents for a trip once, which is just crazy. And then, of course, accommodation. You can stay at hostels or even look on Airbnb and booking.com for cheap villas. You can pay up to $40 a night for, a reasonable villa with a pool and everything if you're staying maybe just a bit in the outer skirts and not like in the middle of the hustle and bustle as well.
Number 14, and something I don't think many people consider, but Bali is just the start. Bali is one island amongst 17,000 in the entirety of Indonesia. There is so much to see and do in all of Indonesia, but also just in Bali. So step outside of those places in Seminyak and Canggu and Kuta and venture out to places like Lombok or climb the volcanoes in Bali. Surf at places that don't have any people because there's so many awesome surf beaches that aren't Canggu and Seminyak, and you'll have an amazing time. Number 15 is an interesting one because Bali can be real, and Indonesia as a whole can be quite strict on laws. So there's a couple that you should be mindful of. Number one is, drugs are really frowned upon in Indonesia. So if you get caught with them, you can get into a lot of trouble. So just be mindful of that. And then also they just passed a law in 2022 where you are not allowed to sleep with someone if you are not married. So, it's obviously not enforced as hectic, but something to be mindful of because, if something does happen, you could get in trouble. And of course, the motorbike license. Bring your international license or get an international license. That's how you will avoid fines. Make sure you wear your helmet because you can get fined for not wearing your helmet. And just drive safe because the locals, especially in those busy places, are getting sick of tourists being crazy on the road, which is so fair because it's dangerous to them and it's dangerous to others. So just drive safe, wear a helmet, be careful, be mindful.
Tip number 16, and this one is for the ladies and something I have experienced after living in Asia for about 18 months. My hair the condition of it has rapidly declined. It's very dry, and one thing that I've actually learnt in Bali and that I purchased myself is if you can get a shower filter, they're very easy to add on to your shower. You just take off the shower head and then screw in the shower filter, and this gets rid of a lot of the heavy metals which can damage your hair. So if you're maybe traveling to Bali for an extended period of time, then I would recommend getting a shower filter for your hair whenever you're washing it. You can find that on Amazon easily. I think they're about like $14.
And number 17, to wrap this up, make sure you pack light. You don't need to bring too much to Bali unless you want to look extra fashionable. Pack light, the weather is fantastic. Make sure you bring things like mosquito repellent and sunscreen, of course, that's going to save you. And then download apps before you come like Gojek, Grab, Maps.me. You can download a map so you don't need internet to find your way around. And then of course get yourself eSIM online if you want to have internet before you go, or just purchase a SIM card when you arrive in Indonesia. Probably not from the airport because that's going to be your most expensive SIM cards. Maybe go into town and get one from there, but they're quite cheap. And then you'll have internet pretty much everywhere you go.
So that is a wrap for our top tips of Bali. We hope you enjoyed the video. If we missed anything or if you've got any questions, please do comment below because we would love to chat to you and help you out. Come and follow us on Instagram here as well because we share so much of our like day-to-day life there and we'd love to connect and we can share more tips there. And then also, of course, make sure you subscribe because we have so many more videos coming out your way.
See ya.
Bye.